In the middle of this pandemic, where more than 10,000 Americans have already lost their lives due to coronavirus, Donald Trump decided to make a joke about who he's slept with. Take a look.
You know what I want to do? I want to come way under the models. The professionals did the models. I was never involved in a model, but at least this kind of a model.
So, as we know, he has great admiration for models. And so he made a joke there about sleeping with models in the middle of a presser about COVID-19.
Yeah. So two things about this. The second one's a twist. First one's obvious. Bozo the Clown is in charge. Look, you want to make a joke about models. I don't care about that at all. Under normal circumstances, have at it, Hoss. And I'm not with the media that's all stuck up and like, oh, I do the and politically incorrect joke about a model, right? But you're in the middle of a press conference about coronavirus.
Yeah.
Thousands of people are dying. It's not time for a model joke. And now, point 1A here is, hey, Christian evangelical right-wingers, what happened? What happened to, oh my God, I care so much about family values, and I care about morality. And by the way, pro-life. Is it pro-life to be flippant about coronavirus that's killed 10,000 people already in this country, and the cases are mounting? And yes, his wife is a model, but so are his mistresses. So, yay, family values. Remember, all my mistresses were models. That's the kind of models I'm familiar with. Wait, what were we talking about? Oh, you people dying, whatever, right? So that's point number one. Point number two is controversial. Anna and I were talking about this over the weekend, and Joe Biden is a dud. And so when and people do vote based on who's more entertaining. Do I think that's rational? No, I think it's mental. But they do. And they're going to consider Trump more entertaining. And he put that Sleepy Joe thing on Biden, and it's not that incorrect. And that's why he did it. And again, we're going to be the mainstream media and Democratic establishment is going to shoot the messenger. That's us. But yeah, I mean, stuff like that, as loathsome as it is, can help him win, and Biden doesn't have any of it.
No, I think that you hit the nail on the head. I don't even think that that's controversial. That's a controversial assessment. Like, obviously, there's a time and place to be personable and make jokes. In the middle of a COVID-19 presser, the last thing you should do is joke around about how many models you've slept with. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. But there is, unfortunately, you're right, an entertainment value to Trump that doesn't appeal to people who actually care about policy, doing the right thing for the country, people who are looking for leadership. But there is some portion of the constituency that votes for people based on, of course, name recognition. But hey, who's the candidate that I want to have a beer with? Would you rather have a beer with Joe Biden, or would you rather have a beer with this guy who, let's face it, whether he intends to be or not, he can be funny, right? Sometimes we're laughing at him. Sometimes people are laughing with him. So I think that that's unfortunately an underestimated strength of Donald Trump's that I even overlooked the first time around in 2016. But now it's becoming more and more clear to me that those types of like offhand statements, for some reason, play well with some portion of the electorate. And it's something to keep in mind.
And when Biden was younger, I think that he actually arguably had a similar spirit. And he'd get in trouble for saying things he shouldn't say. But it made him a little bit more likable to some portion of the electorate, especially older voters, which unfortunately still today decide elections. So unfortunately, that's not the Biden of today. The Biden of today is lucky to finish a thought, and he will say things that are accidentally offensive, but not charming or funny. I mean, when he'll say things like, hey, look here, fat.
Ugh.
What is that? Right? So whereas Trump would take the same insult and, and like he'd say fatty or something. Hey, listen, fatty, and he'd mean it. And that's because he's a way worse person than Joe Biden. But people would like that. Whereas, look here, fat doesn't make any sense. That's a lot of things that Joe Biden says now doesn't make any sense. And to say that he's not a dynamic speaker at this point in his career is a vast understatement. So
it's so devastating. It's so devastating that we found ourselves in this position again. I would argue even worse than it was in 2016. Devastating.
Yeah. And look, the Democrats' main hope is let's hope no one's paying attention. They remember the Biden of the past. He co-signed the name recognition and the nostalgia and the fact that Trump is so terrible. It's not that bad a strategy normally, but I don't know that Biden's going to make it all the way to election day by coasting. I know he's not actually. And so where does that leave us? It leaves us in the same exact position we were in 2016, where the Democratic Party strategy is, yes, people, we have a significant issue with our own candidate, but that's okay. We'll tell people all day long that Trump's a bad guy, and that way we'll win the election. How'd that turn out for us? So what's going to happen is they'll take clips like that and they'll say, you see, Trump's a bad guy. But that didn't work electorally. That was not a winning strategy. So here we go again into the abyss.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.